So far, what's supposed to be a Category 3 hurricane looks more like a Caribbean holiday. George and I settle into a resort, rent scooters, and cruise the island, but it's really all part of a safe strategy to prepare for the winds and waves coming our way. Igor's a massive hurricane. Our stakeout waiting for Igor's eye to arrive has literally been days.
Hey, Mark!
That was not funny.
I thought it was hilarious!
The last few hours on Sunday found us at a nearly abandoned resort because everyone else departed early. So I have to admit we had a little bit of fun waiting for the storm to ramp up.
It's hot tub time!
Debris! What we are chasing! I swear!
But in all seriousness, when the eye wall started getting closer, it was no laughing matter. Igor was one strong hurricane.
I can't believe that 2 days ago there was a whole pile of people sitting sunbathing on this beach. Now, not so much. Igor's coming in strong. Behind me you can see the dock of the resort. The waves are just pounding it.
Right on cue, later in the afternoon, we began to feel Igor's full fury. It was amazing to experience the strong winds of Igor firsthand. Knowing that there wouldn't be flying debris allowed George and I to put ourselves in harm's way, so to speak, more so than we would have done in other hurricanes. But as dangerous as the winds might seem, it's actually the water that's the most deadly weapon that Igor has to throw at us. Most deaths in hurricanes are caused by drowning. Storm surge is the most significant part of that water weapon. As a hurricane approaches land, it pushes a bulge of water ahead of the strongest winds, and this bulge can be huge. In the case of Katrina, it was over 10 meters in some spots. We're not seeing anything like that here in Bermuda, but it is a few feet, and it was enough to swamp the dock and the pier at the bottom of the resort.
Well, this is just about Igor's eye wall. So it's got a few more minutes to see Igor in the daylight. This has been an amazing storm.
That night at about midnight, the eye wall passed almost directly over top of us. The next morning, as we sifted through the wreckage of the Bermuda shoreline, it seemed unbelievable that this was just a tiny part of the impact of Igor. Not only was this hurricane over 1,000 kilometers in diameter, it had also traveled for thousands of kilometers, leaving a massive swath of damage in its wake from the tropics all the way to Canada. Igor was still a very strong storm when it got to Newfoundland a couple days later. It's been a wild year. We've seen a lot more named storms than average. Seasonal forecasting is one of the most difficult jobs for meteorologists, but here's my prediction for 2011. The El Niño-La Niña pattern is likely to be neutral, so I'm not expecting things to be quite as active as this year. But remember, it only takes one landfall to create devastation. Meteorology is our life's work, and making these chase adventures is our reward for knowing our science and using it to be in the right place at the right time to catch these storms.